Hey guys, JG Yokohama. Jeff, no longer in Japan, so I'm in my temporary digs. I got my temporary listening station here and stack of records. I just thought I'd do a first here, just do a listening stack because it's a little easier for me. And so I'll just do a quick and dirty what stuff I've been listening to for the last maybe like about a week and a half, I'd say, since I got everything set up again. So some recent stuff, a lot of stuff I'd picked up a while back and I just haven't gotten to listen to in a while or haven't listened to it at all. So here are a few things I picked up. Sorry, I'm not going to bother taking off the sleeves because I don't have a lot of time to do this today. So this one, here we go. So this is Les Ralices de Nudes. This is yeah, French demo tapes. So this was I guess my understanding from the liner notes, this was from a bootleg session sometime in the 80s. Some recording engineer basically took some tapes, some of their best work. It's definitely heavy psych, experimental. They got their start in the late 60s. Was very active in the Japanese drone movement, drone rock. So it's just droning feedback with the driving, like bass and drums. It sounds pretty good for what it is, but it's an amazing album. This is if you like that really crazy stuff, like early Red Creola, or you like really feedback laden stuff. This stuff's amazing. Yeah, very. This one's a few years ago. It's orange vinyl. It's numbered. This is 164 of 1,000. I had that shipped from UK like a year or so ago. Okay, this one is a 90s album I actually picked up in Japan for $4 or $5. So Scissor Girls is, I believe they're from Chicago. This is their 90, says 1996 on here, so 96. So maybe, I don't know if you can see that, so Scissor Girls. So I'll try to put a lot of this stuff, the more far out stuff anyway, into the links in the description. So, but yeah, this one's kind of experimental. I don't know if I'd say girl power, but experience. But yeah, it reminds me a lot of what do we call it? Maybe oh, what's that band? Oh, Huggy Bear. Reminds me a lot of like maybe Huggy Bear. They're more experimental. Jim O'Rourke had something to do with this, but I don't know if he's just producing. But yeah, there's again a lot of like kind of feedbacky kind of stuff. So maybe he's doing that in the studio. But that's actually a really fun album if you like that more far out stuff. Be sure to try to put the link there. So Lee Morgan, not much to say about this one. It's a good one. Japanese pressing. It's probably early 70s, I think, or mid 70s, early 80s. I don't know. But anyway, very good, clean pressing. Good album. Not my favorite Lee Morgan, but it's one of his better ones. Blue Note. One of Archie Shepp's best albums. Blase. This is the studio version. Well, I don't know if actually it is studio. It's all in French. But yeah, Japanese pressing, obviously. There's two versions of this. There's a live version that's also on the same label, BYG. So yeah, on BYG as well. Both pretty similar, quite good. The title track does sound like it's live though. This is one of my recent 50-cent finds. Augie Duo. I can do that for you. It's in cellophane though. It's not going to get much better. This is their first album. I think it's a private press. And it's kind of interesting. It was signed on the liner notes too. It's kind of cool. So it's kind of Celtic. I think this came out around 1980-ish. So it's like Celtic folk music, but it's got moments where like the Hammond organ comes in, which is, and it works. It's quite good. So the Hammond organ comes in. There's some track or two with some kind of crazy guitar with some feedback kind of stuff in there too, which is a little out of place, but it's quite good. Fun album. Yeah, everyone knows this one. I won't spend too much time on it. Brian Eno's debut solo. This is a UK first press. Cover's a little deep because it's kind of a flimsy material, but the vinyl is actually probably very close to near mint when it plays. Hardly any sound on it. Okay, this one's an interesting one I picked up in Japan out of one of the bargain bins. I think it goes for a little bit more money. So, Yoshiaki Min Delay with Jimmy Smith and Kenny Dixon on drums. So he's a guitarist. He didn't have that many albums. So this is kind of fun. It sounds like you would expect from Jimmy Smith of Hammond on there. Guitar. So it's quite fun, actually. That's a good one. If you see it for not so much, I would pick it up for sure. Yeah. This was one I picked up a couple years or so ago. It came out about 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah, so Q Azeris. It's got the original single that everyone knows mostly from Silence of the Lambs, but I think it was from My Cousin Vinny originally. But this has the single version on it. It's got 2 demo versions, which are quite different from the released version, and it's got a few extra songs. Apparently now she's like a bus driver in New Jersey, happy, me alone kind of situation. There's an interesting video or two on that, floating around YouTube. So that's actually, yeah, if you like that, it's very good. Okay, we're getting back into the weird stuff. This is Skin Graft Records, one of my favorite record labels. Sax Ruins. And this is basically saxophone versions of earlier Ruins music. So I know Tales of the Crate, you'd love this. So the Ruins were a duo, or are a duo, I guess they're still around. So it's a bassist and a drummer who also plays with Koen Yake, who are also quite good. Very heavy proggy experimental stuff. So this actually does have the original bassist as well, or one of the bassists, I should say. So the drummer is pretty much the core member of Ruins. They've gone through a couple bassists. It's got Uichi Yoshida. I think he's considered the main bassist for Ruins. So basically, they just recorded their stuff with a saxophone and drums and an occasional bass. It's very heavy jazz. Basically, it's pretty interesting. Quite good. I think their CD is a little better. There's another the one that came out. I think it came out a year after this. I think it's a little better, but this is the only one that's on vinyl. It's I don't. It's like a splatter yellow vinyl. If that's your thing. Here, this is probably my absolute favorite album of all time. Unwound. This is probably a band I've probably seen more than any other band. I used to go see them every tour. So Unwound in the title. This is, I think, it's considered to be their first album, but their discography is a little goofy in the beginning. They released them out of order, but I think this is generally considered to be their first album. So Fake Train, reference to Sun Ra there and Coltrane, but again, kind of very more on the experimental. They were one of the first math rock big bands, but I wouldn't really consider them math rock. They're more fall into noise rock. That's more my genre from my high school years. Just insane, great stuff. It's a little less polished than some of their later stuff. They got very polished by their last album, which is probably my least favorite, but most people say that's their favorite, but it's probably my least favorite. Yeah, this noisy feedback, craziness, very strong, rhythm section. Great stuff. This is again one of my old 90s collection, gravel. Much better outside the slips. That's most of the stuff's still in the shrink from when I bought it. So this is a Estrous record, if you're familiar with Estrous, budget rock. Very, very, very much like Mudhoney. If you like Mudhoney, get this one. This would be a 4.5-ish star record for me. Pretty, very much like the when Mudhoney was getting just a little more polished before they just maybe about the time they signed on Reprise. I always said Reprise. Yeah, but this was an awesome one. Yeah, so you would like this again. Tales from the Crate and Final Douche, you'd like this too, I think. It falls between your tastes. This is an inexpensive kind of pop psyche one I picked up. Nothing really stand out on here. I've heard one or two of these songs on the radio over the years, maybe, but yeah. So the 5-man electric band, you can get it inexpensive. It's worth picking up if you find it. I think I paid like $4 or $5 for this. VG Plus or better here. Really clean copy. This one's been shown a few times. I won't spend too much time on it. This is a Japanese repress from very recent, last year. I think it's actually repressed in Germany. It was released in Japan. So, yeah, didn't pay much for it. Very happy to find it. So it's kind of like, just like it sounds. The theme on this one, very heavy on the Carla Bley here. Theme is just the kind of revolutionary music. They were saying in the notes something like Spanish Revolution or something was the influence here. So it's an interesting listen. I'll definitely give it another spin soon. This one's part of a going out of business sale I picked up. That's pretty cool. So this is Crash Normal. Again, I'll try to put a lot of these more not well-known bands into the. I'll try to put a playlist down in the link. It's French, I believe. Yeah, French. Yeah, so a French kind of garage budget rock type of deal. It's quite good. This is a good album. It's worth picking up if you can get it still. Kill Shaman. I think I paid like $1 for it, new. And yeah, they got an A-frames cover on here. So it's kind of in that garagey noise rock vein, somewhere in there. More of the garage side of things. Very Ty-C all sounding. This one, yeah, super good, especially for the price if you can get it on the cheap. Okay, this one is Amanaz. It's a amagram. I forget what you said. So, I was reading it. It comes with like a full, 2 different mixes of the albums. It's a Zamrock album. So one of the few ones that survived. Comes with a whole massive book on the band and the Zamrock movement, but focused mostly on the band. So Africa, they're going, yeah, it's very fuzzed. There's a fuzzed out version, which is the one I like, and there's like a more traditional sounding one. Yeah, I don't know. It was worth checking out if you like Zamrock. This is a really solid album. A lot of instrumental, not all in English. What is there? It's another from the Z is for Zambia. Another, I forget. I forget what it stands for. But anyway, really good stuff here. Okay, another 10-inch. I got a lot of 10 inches. Another one I picked up on the cheap. Again, I think it's French. Wasn't that budget rock, garagey stuff. Pretty good. It's like EP by shoot, I forgot the band here. Oh, yeah, here it is. Movie Star Junkies. It's another Kill Shaman purchase. Quite pretty worth the money if you see it. So they have a few records out in France. This was, I think, their only American release. Okay, so I think other people have been showing this one recently. You can get really cheap. I picked up a week or so ago. This is the Greykin Conspiracy Band, or Greykin Conspiracy, I guess. Greykin Band Conspiracy. Most notably on here is Jeopardy, I guess. They have a cover of I Fall to Pieces as well. So, yeah, it's fun. Power pop is fun. This is one of my favorite of mine. So Masahiko Togashi, I have a lot of his albums. Japanese avant-garde free jazz drummer. Very interesting. He was in a car wreck, and you can see there he was paralyzed from the waist down. It's pretty early in his career, and then he basically went full on, Def Leppard dude and built a crazy drum kit. But he's a very unique style, very Japanesey, traditional Japanese free jazz, I'd say. If that makes any sense. So this one's, of course, Charlie Hayden, who's probably probably my favorite jazz artist, and Don Cherry. Don Cherry, I think he's playing. It says bamboo flute, but it's got to be a shakuhachi, like the Japanese flute. You always see him in pictures. Actually, on the other Charlie Hayden I just showed, he's on the back. I think he's actually playing it as well. But this is the first half is just pretty much normal free jazz, and the second side has a little more of the Asian flair going. And there's a recent repress. I think that's why everyone knows this album. I put this up on my Instagram. Everyone's kind of going crazy over it. But this is an original copy before the repress. There's a volume 2, but it's different recording artists. I don't think it's as strong, but this was Session in Paris, volume 1. Volume 2 is red, kind of similar design, but not as good. But it goes for more money, I think, because they just almost picked it up, but opted not to. I just don't like it as much as this one. So it's not an inexpensive find the other week. Found a really, really clean copy of Emmett Rose original press. Or actually, this might be a repress. I don't know, but it's gatefold version. A singer-songwriter does all the instruments. Really, everyone shows this. It's a great album. If you see it, pick it up. Has some power pop elements there, but it's more in the singer-songwriter vein. Another favorite of sorts of mine, Suzi Quatro. Picking up a lot of her stuff lately. This is a little more, power pop, but a little more disco infused at this point. But very solid album. Most notably, let's see, She's in Love with You. I like that song. If you like Joan Jett, you like her. It's my really clean copy I found of Lee Michaels' Fifth. So again, Hammond organ. I got a lot of organ stuff in the stack. So my understanding, he was kind of considered to be part of the San Francisco Psych scene, but more of a soul record, really. This is a really good album, if you ever see it. Okay, soul jazz end of things. Clean Forever Washington copy I got. Again, you can get these for a few bucks. Usually not this clean, though. But exceptionally clean copy I found. Yes, it's got a little minor scratch on it, but you can't even hear it. So, and then this one's OK Judge Revival. Again, I believe they're French. It's a kind of noisy garage budget band. Worth picking up if you see it cheap. More of a guilty pleasure thing, but I rather like it. Stevie Nicks, Edge of 17 and all that. LaDonna. Also has the Highwayman and Leather and Lace. And that one was Stop Dragging My Heart On, Tom Petty, of course. It's a good album. Got this one. This is a later repress, one of the budget labels, but it still sounds really clean. Take 5, Dave Brubeck, but this is the vocal version with Carmen McRae. So yes, there are vocals to Take 5. This is a really, really good album, actually. I paid 50 cents for it. BG Plus or better. Plays really nice. Cleaned up really nice. The actual cover, not the budget cover, it's got the kind of marquee. It's got a picture of like a marquee at night. One of the like Paramount or one of those kind of converted theater type places with all the lights. So worth checking out if you can get this. I would pay money for this one. It's a good one. Here, another cheapie I got still in the shrink. So enough said. It's Nat King Cole, Unforgettable. You know the title track. Mona Lisa, a few other standards on there. Another one I found in the shrink for 50 cents. BG Plus or better. Near mint on the cover. Got all the hype stickers on there. Everyone knows this one. This is not the version from the. I'd never owned this before. It's pretty cool to have. It has Wild Wild Life, but these are not the versions from the actual movie, but they re-recorded them for the album, which I never knew because I had it before. Yeah, and there's also a live version, I believe, which has the poster from the movie on it. So yeah, it's worth picking up. Find it on the cheap, I suppose. Not the strongest Talking Heads album, but enjoyable if you can get it for the right price. Yeah, you know this one. Sorry for the shine. Black Star, David Bowie is actually reading his biography that was done right after his death. Kind of interesting read on it. Yeah, I've never like been super into this album. I'm more into like his kind of late '70s, like the Berlin years, and especially Didn't Wipe Duke and stuff. Yeah, it's a very good album. It's just not. I just don't enjoy it personally as much as some of his other stuff. Okay, another Be Kind. Again, I think they're French again, but Net Shaker, kind of a experimental band. Give this another listen. It was enjoyable, but this is one I'm kind of. I think it's a good album, but it's not one maybe I'm going to listen to a ton. But it's a very good album. If you like that kind of experimental stuff. Net Shaker. This is another one I found for 50 cents. Some German krautrock. So Triumvirat. This is Illusions on a Double Dimple. Paid 50 cents for this. It's I'd say pretty close to VG Plus. Right, yeah, vinyl VG Plus. It's I'd say more or less VG Plus. There's a couple small divots on the cover. This is a really good one. You see it. I don't think it goes for like a ton of money. I think it's like a $15 album-ish. Yeah, if you see this guy, pick it up. It's really good. You like a little on the proggy side. It rocks. Okay, and another 50-cent find. Original pressing on Verve. I don't think these go for a ton of money, but like the cover though. I think somebody else showed this recently. Johnny Hodges. It's again organ-based jazz. And Grant Green on guitar, Hank Jones on piano, Ben Dixon again on drums, just like the other one with the organ, and Richard Davis on bass. Yeah, I wouldn't seek it out, but if you see it on the cheap, it's definitely worth buying. I think it's a sub $10 record usually. Another one I paid 50 cents for, Canadian Press of Supertramp. Enough said. This was my test record when I put my turntable together. This is a really good one. So this is Ill Considered 3. This is a live album. If you like that UK jazz scene, this one comes highly recommended. All their stuff's super good. It just gets really expensive by the time you import it from the UK to the States. I think it's like this is a double album. It's got that really cool artwork. It's a gatefold double album. Like I don't know if you call that a texture sleeve, but it's like a flat thing going there. Yeah, super good if you're into that UK jazz scene that's happening now. Jazz jam band. Here for Steve, we got the Straubs, Prog with a kind of a Baroque thing there. Yeah, it's okay. I don't know. I'll have to give some of their other albums a listen, but it's a little too Baroque for me. Into the Dungeons and Dragons kind of stuff. Yes. But yeah, it's again, I think this is a gatefold. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is. Yeah, it's a gatefold. So kind of Baroque, you can see it there for sure. Expecting it to be a little more Psych, but it's full on Prog. And then this was a pickup from a while back. I hadn't got a chance to clean it up until recently. It's a bit of water damage, but I thought the vinyl would clean up pretty well. It had a little mold going on. But what I found out after I threw it on the turntable is it is a bit warped. So I think I can clean it up a little bit more than I did. But I think this is the early second pressing of Sun Ra's Atlantis. It's got a little bit of a warp, so I'm not liking how the needle's doing me up and down on it. So yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, I'm thinking about throwing something kind of record size on top of it and putting like a 5-pound weight or something on it. Let it sit for a couple months or so, see if it flattens out a bit more. It's kind of like a Dynaflex material, so I'm hoping it'll flatten out. If you have any suggestions on flattening, let me know. It's barely playable, but it's kind of on that verge of skipping the needle on the up and down. It's that warped, but one of my favorite Sun Ra's. Actually, looks like it was 1.0 punch out. But yeah, if you have any suggestions on that, so I'm just gonna sign out here, and I'm gonna try to put as many links as I can. I'm not gonna bother doing needle drops; it's too much trouble, and I don't have the time. I'll try putting links in like a playlist in the not the comments, but in the description for the video. Yep. So back in the States, guys. Temporary digs, and yep. Hopefully get something better soon. Well, we'll see. The situation's kind of messed up with my work, my visa situation for my, yeah, it's a mess. Anyway, yeah. See you guys. Cheers. Hope you had a good weekend.